Welcome back, everybody, here to the to the Dota 2 Champions League. If I say the name of the tournament correctly, that's always a useful help. We're doing game number 2 of Meepwn'd going up against Virtus.pro, where throws and comebacks are both possible by both teams at any point of the game, which makes things entertaining to watch. And of course, the man who helps me actually understand what the hell's going on my screen is my co-caster for this series. It is Clairvoyance, former coach of Cloud9, semi-North American professional player, and a whole bunch of other things. How you doing, Claire? How you doing?
Earthshaker.
Hello, hello. Doing quite well. You know, had the pleasure of enjoying last game on the sidelines with you, my friend. And here we are, game 2, as you so nicely described, where throws, but also comebacks are very possible for both teams.
The game's not over until your fortress is exploded into a million different pieces.
Exactly.
And even then, it can be debated.
Yes, yes.
Well, let's start off our draft. Jugger, taken out. I'm always happy to see that. Sniper is not going to be allowed into this game by God. He is going to ban it out this time around. And Meepwn'd keep up with their bans. They took out the SF as well as the VS in the last game, denying the combat of VP. But because Meepwn'd have first pick this time around, they take the VS and instead decide to remove the Wisp as the option for VP.
Yeah, I would be really surprised if
because
they just
had second pick. Earthshaker was taken by Virtus.pro, allowing VS to be picked up by Meepwn'd.
Yeah. Ooh. And yeah, I am surprised actually. I'm surprised they didn't pick up Bad Rider. I guess they played it last game, so they kind of, you know, you don't really want to pick the same thing twice in a lot of games.
You talking about VP picking up Bad Rider or Meepwn'd?
No, Meepwn'd. I don't think VP want to pick up. Like, Bad Rider ES is one of the most solid openings, like one of the best openings in the game. But running it into a VS is not the best idea. And running Bad Rider against Enigma usually means that you're not going to contest the Enigma. So it's like a free jungle for the Enigma kind of thing, which is also hard because Earthshaker is not a support that can apply pressure to Enigma. So you have to pick something aggressive with Earthshaker most often. And one support usually isn't able to contest the enemy safe lane against the VS and Enigma. So yeah, it's a tough situation now. Meepwn'd already just 2 picks into the game. I feel like they have a better opening. But VP, you know, they can pick any 5 they want. It looks like Troll Warlord is the one they go for. This carry, like Juggernaut, I can understand. It's a very strong carry. But Troll Warlord though, this hero is like, it's like top tier in CIS for like the last how many months? They always first pick him.
That's because he's such a dynamic hero.
10 seconds
like he can do anything. You can throw him onto almost any lane you want to, and during the middle of a team fight, he can just tank most of it up, or give mass miss chances anyway.
Yeah, he's got really good presence and misdirection in fights. Like, sometimes like he's deceptively tanky too, because as you said, with the miss chances, you know, sometimes it's like 100%. You'll never hit this hero, and all of a sudden he bashes you once you die. But I guess for me, the biggest thing is that this hero guarantees the safe lane. As you said, he's one of those heroes that, like, by design, he can kind of go elsewhere. He can even play support probably because he has a slow and he has a stun if you get lucky. But
it's not only the way you want to run him. You want to have enough farm on him that he can walk into the middle of the fight and throw out the melee whirling actors and find those bashes you're hoping for at all times of the game.
Yeah. The best way to definitely play this hero is for sure on the safe lane. It guarantees the safe lane so well to the point where all you need is just 2 heroes to zone out 1 offlaner. Sometimes to the point where the troll can just solo zone out the offlaner if he gets enough of an advantage, which just leaves so much room for supports to do other stuff. Where troll can go into the woods, supports can take the lane. It's just, there's many options, and of course his carry potential is like nothing to scoff at. He's the best 1v1 fighter in the game.
Virtus.pro's turn to pick.
Expect the bristle back, I would say.
I'm expecting either a VS or an Enigma core. You've just doubled up your supports over a Meepwn'd. Or triple up your supports technically.
Yeah.
Over on Meepwn'd, which makes me think they're going to try and exploit the map a little bit more. I don't know if they're going to do it, but they do have Weeha on their lineup, and I'm not seeing a Meepro ban up against these boys.
Lion.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's always a possibility for Weeha.
Yeah. The other option is with the lineup when VS and Enigma get picked up by Hani early on, as he looks for a little bit more of an aura kind of play, and goes into a Drow Ranger selection. That's the other option he goes.
Yeah, Drow's doable. Drow's fine this game, but I think it's gonna be core Enigma for sure. I don't like the idea of running Dazzle or Revenge as a core. It's way too all-in-y.
But the Enigma, yeah, he's a core. I think he's safe lane core. This is a VS Dazzle Axe aggro. Because I don't see much of a point of holding him back unless you're going to try and run the Axe against the Troll in the mid, at which point I'd scrap the aggro.
It's honestly hard to tell. I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna wait for VP picks as well, and like VP, if they have like, you know, you can tell like if G's playing a hero, you know he's gonna go mid with it and stuff, and I think they're gonna gauge it by that. I do think so far how it's gonna look like it's gonna be like a Axe Dazzle aggressive dual lane, Enigma mid lane, and then VS +1. Like Troll would have been actually like a perfect line, perfect hero for this situation, but yeah, VS +1 on the safe lane, something that can zone out a Clockwork, not to the full, but something that can kind of like stay alive against Clock, because Clock can be really aggressive against just the VS +1 lane most of the time. Something that can deal physical damage and carry. Although they have a lot of physical damage and good Roshan potential, they definitely want. It's hard to say. Like they want so many things right now. They need that presence that can hit towers with the Enigma. They want something that can grab a little bit more vision than Axe, because just relying on a Blink Dagger against Clockwork is not the best idea. Clockwork is really good against Axe initiations. Yeah, I don't know, like, as soon as they pick that Dazzle, honestly, for me, this is them just drafting themselves into a hole.
So, yeah, for me, I'm looking at Harney's mindset of this game, and he's like, well, I'm going to 100% win my lane on top. The bottom lane, I'm fairly certain, it doesn't matter what carry they run on the safe lane, we should be able to crush them. So all I need is a solid mid. That's the last thing that will be coming through Harney's mind right now.
So you think this is actually like a safe lane Enigma?
I think it's a safe lane Enigma with an aggro tri-lane Axe. Either that or they throw the Axe into the mid lane, feeling he can go up against the Troll Warlord.
You know, if VP pick like Bristleback as their last hero, and then just go mid with the Clockwork or something, or say side lane the Clock and Troll mid or whatever, like, and Bristleback gets the lane against Enigma, and that Bristleback hero, he just spams quills and kills all your Eidolons. Like, it's actually like one of the biggest mismatches. Enigma can't do a thing. All he does is lose life points on every soul ring, and probably just kills himself to the quills. So it's like a huge mismatch, and I'm not too sure if they want to get into that situation. Again, with the Dazzle pick, I thought Bristleback is the only way to go, because it seemed like they wanted to fight after securing their lanes, and they have Roshan potential with the Bristle hero as well. But with that Axe pickup now, and the Clockwork counter, again, it's looking too iffy. And Quap was actually one of the other heroes that they could have picked. It's a good, decent semi-carry. It doesn't offer physical damage, but they do have a pretty decent front on that. Yeah, I don't know, man. This draft is way too odd for me to see and gauge.
Well, wait no longer. We actually have a Doocer.
Oh, okay.
Virtus.pro's
turn
to pick.
So this is making a lot more sense to you now?
Yeah, it is. It is. It definitely looks like a Medusa mid Enigma. Again, I honestly, I don't know. How
you just hate you hate the thought of the aggro tri lane. This is why you can't say Enigma safe lane, isn't it?
The thing with aggro tri lane against the Lion and Earthshaker is, I mean, Axe is good, Dazzle is great, and it gives you great sustain. But you get caught out of position once.
Yeah, and all hell goes to
Yeah, like Earthshaker, how that hero guarantees the safe lane with a 1500 range terrain block, 8-second duration against these 400 or 500 range heroes and a melee Axe. I don't know. I just don't see it going well. I don't think maybe they can beat a Troll tri lane. When Troll gets level 2, that's not the case anymore because the mischance will just destroy everybody. But yeah, I don't know. Like, they can just tri lane the Clockwork, sack the Clockwork. There's just so many options. Like Meepwn'd, they have to fall back on this Medusa, for which there are multiple counters in the game still. Yeah, it's odd to me.
Feels natural to me, but maybe that's because I've been around Harney too long. It just feels right.
The one nice thing I have to acknowledge is that Axe is really good with Medusa. So there's a lot of Medusa carries that are usually illusion based, or like Animage, for example, and you can't really pick those heroes into Axe, especially against the potential Axe tri lane. So that's the nice thing they have set up for themselves.
Alright, VP, so how are you going to do this? I think Harney believes that Troll Warlord's going safe by the fact that he bans out the Queen of Pain. Because that would just be a god hero to go towards the mid. It's not a BZZ hero at all. Yeah,
and also Troll destroys everybody in this game in 1v1 at mid.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're going OD.
Ooh, that's a great pickup. Now, that again is another Medusa counter, and it's one that most often than not wins the lane. And a lot of times, the only reason OD falls off is because he gets ganked, or the enemy just has these better scaling physical heroes that forces the OD to get a BKB. This is not that case.
But
the OD doesn't have
look
to get
who's-
BKB.
Look who's playing what heroes. We've got Exist on the Medusa and Axe being played by Weeha.
I know. I've known to see Weeha at the mid lane with Axe a couple times.
Well, that's where I'm actually thinking he's headed. I think they're like, well, we don't want to put a Medusa anywhere near that OD, so let's run a safe lane Medusa and just put the Enigma to the off lane. This for me just turned completely defensive the second I saw the Medusa pick.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't know. I think they're gonna get outfarmed if that's the case. Axe probably won't need the jungle, but at the same time, he's not gonna put that much pressure on the OD. And OD can kill Axe at 6. The most important thing. If Axe gets delayed on his Blink Dagger, there will be no space for Meepwn'd to operate this game, because how Enigma works in the offlane is if he can't offlane, he'll jungle. And after he rotates from the jungle back to the offlane, he has to deny a creep to stay alive unless there's like a huge creep wave and the enemy is not applying pressure and just giving him free food, which is often not the case. They're gonna, if they're pushing, they're gonna look to kill you while they're pushing. So if they just lose their bottom tower and Axe dies once within the first 10 minutes, I feel like BP can just outfarm the heck out of Meepwn'd so long as they just control Roshan.
Jodam, I think we got the message, man. You want... Okay, now that's just hilarious. Jodam has just spent the last 10-20 seconds pinging out this spot for the ward placement. And I think Cedo is just like, you know what, screw you. I'm going to plant a little bit further up. So that way he can see this direction as well as that direction. But it does mean their vision of the river is in very, very limited.
30 seconds
very,
to
very
battle.
limited. It also looks like Meepwn'd. Okay, the Enigma is going to head down to the south right now. Because I was wondering if Fly was even going to abandon the bottom lane at the very, very start. Like take one creep and then go into the jungle. Leave Weeha on that top lane, then Crit as well as Hani just rotate as often as they possibly can. So Hani scouts out God coming down for the 100 rune.
The battle begins.
And with Jodam right behind him, I think maybe that's also the scarier part of the middle lane. Like, you go for the imprisonment, and then Jodam just is able to get into the perfect position to go for the fissure. And it's not as though you're like, I'm going to avoid every single imprison in the middle lane, or else you'll never do anything in that mid lane. But they did put the Medusa up against the OD.
Yeah. This is somewhat of a mismatch. Again, Medusa doesn't really lose damage, so she can kind of farm or try to, but Medusa's not a hero that wants to die because her design is all based on her tankiness and the ability to stay alive enough. And OD is one of those heroes that doesn't let Medusa do that.
Yeah. Well, poor little Medusa, losing her intelligence. Cedo gets to battle up against Weeha, but he's been quite happy to come in close. I think he's also trying to burn off the mana. He went cogs at level 1. As opposed to looking to get up close and personal with the axe. Yeah, there you go. Burn off a little bit. So at least he can't get cold all the time or zoned out by high levels of battle hunger. And Hani is the one on the offlane, so they did actually sack the offlane in a way. And put Hani just down here with Bruce first, so he's capable of just staying close enough to soak up the experience. But not have to worry about like farming last. If he does, brilliant. If he doesn't, you don't care, because Fly's going to get all of the farm you want from inside the dire jungle.
Yeah, they're just making the best situation out of this, and I do agree with the solution. Giving the Enigma free farm is definitely a priority here, because he needs to be the one that can Midnight Pulse and just hold the towers with his presence of the mech as soon as possible. This Clockwork versus Axe lane, it's very reminiscent of that old the Darkseer days, when it would be like Darkseer versus Clinks or Darkseer versus Clockwork, or Clockwork versus Clinks in the offlane every game. Yeah, it's like Clockwork has kill potential here. We all better be careful. Then again, Clockwork can also die if there's a lot of creeps, so Clockwork should be careful.
Poor Fly missing the block. Hani, now he's in a little bit of trouble. Throws the sun out in Yol. The Earth Spike with the fissure. Hani's locked in the corner. He's got no way out of this one. He needs more help coming in from Exist, but Exist has no mana, and Hani actually got in range of the tower. Even with the DD rune, Jodam couldn't come in for one last attack. Yol, or Hani, overset is welcome. The Earth Spike's off cooldown in 1 second time, but he is not close enough for this one. Hani, yeah, I think he wants to Wave of Terror and help get a revenge kill, but best just to back up and be happy he's not dead.
Yeah. Honestly, that kill would have been, like, I know it would be first blood, but it wouldn't have done much anyway. The nicer thing is that Yo's able to camp out the Medusa and force him on the back foot.
I think
Now
coming in
Medusa's
for a
forcing
kill.
this, yes.
Hani knows that Yol's in the tree line, but he's got enough life points. There's your first stun. Yol, he doesn't know who to Earth Spike, so he hexes over on Hani, and now Wave of Terror is back off cooldown. I think Hani's got his first blood. He's body blocking Yol, who moves over towards the side, running desperately for the Ancients, and Hani's got no choice. He has to take the first blood his way. He wanted to give it to Exist, because that would have been 100% his bottle. But he'll take it himself.
So it's a nice kill. Not too sure how much implications it'll have for the game. Just one of those first bloods that a support killing a support is. It's like you just have to look at what kind of vision was given to both teams and what kind of pressure was created, what kind of pressure was alleviated.
Right now, I don't
Most
think
important thing is
any kind
mid-lane.
of pressure was created anywhere. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Like, no lanes were really affected. God was already dominating the mid. If Exist got the first blood, then I think, yes, it actually would have meant something. Now it just means you're already Boots first Vengeful Spirit who burned through consumables. Yeah, isn't going to do much.
Exactly.
Like, you get a couple of extra items, that's all.
His duty is just stacking the Ancients here, and the nice thing with the Star Ancient now is that you can just, as with both Ancient stacking actually, you can just stack and you can check the rune right after. But this is an Earthshaker they're dealing with, and also they don't know what heroes that they're seeing, so you know what, Jordan just decided to show his cards and say, I'm just gonna stun you, nobody's really around to make kills happen.
Let's make sure you get the runes. Cedo already picked up the rune up on the top lane, so he's got 3 of himself. Unfortunately, that's kind of like the worst thing you can have up against an axe.
Yep, giving him more spins.
Yep, do no damage, give more spins.
The nice thing he can do with this though is send it over to the pull and just harass the Dazzle with it, because Dazzle's not very good against Clockwork, especially like in terms of, you know, like the damage and the armor and everything. Like Dazzle's pretty strong on right clicks, but Clockwork illusions are quite strong too.
Hex. He's able to get back in range of the tier 2 tower. The spike will come in into the axis. The CP support's coming in. They're so deep right now. Their support, it's the Dazzle coming in. He doesn't have poison touch, but it exists onto the front lines. He also's got very little to no mana. So there's double TPs coming in after it was VP who were the ones out of position. You had to bring in someone like the Enigma to make that one work.
You know what? That dive was like completely unnecessary and just burned through the region of VP until that Medusa came in.
Oh, Exist.
Oh my god.
They might even kill him. He has to turn on the shields. Crit. He's got a Shadow Grave though, so they shouldn't get the kill. But Exist, he's just like, I need to walk the other direction, but it's too far away from Crit, so now the Shadow Grave will come up. So he's alive for the moment. There's another Shadow Wave of Varvel. Let's do some damage to BZZ, and in comes Weeha. Call over on BZZ, so the Medusa will die, but BZZ is going to give a kill over to the Axe, who's now level 6. Actually, it was Dazzle who took the kill. So both the supports from Meepwn'd are the ones finding the kills. And instantly Hani comes to top lane to try and find his farm up here. And potentially even kill off Cedo if Cedo's not too careful.
Yeah, this is actually really good. Oh, no.
He got bottle. He got bottle. Which means Hani can't get this kill anymore.
Right. All in all, from a very awkward skirmish, I would have to say Meepwn'd lost out in the exchange. Like, VP came out ahead. Not only did the Medusa die, but he also TP'd into that lane. So when he spawned again, he actually just waited in base for a little bit longer. And when he does return to the lane, he gets memories of his mismatch brought back to him. Nice try. Nice try.
He was trying to hookshot underneath an Observer Ward, which is about to time out. This is the reason why Exist just saw it coming and backed up.
Again, doesn't change anything. OD is still going to keep beating him, and when OD gets Midas, I mean, even without Midas, Exist can just die right now. He's got 65 mana, and OD's got a huge amount of intel bonus on him, which means Sanity's Eclipse is just going to drop him half life points.
Yep.
He does get a haste run though.
But he does. Weeha also narrowly survives in the bottom lane. He had just one heal come out from Crit. He would have survived anyway because of the Shallow Grave.
Oh, and you know what? He did the Vanguard first build.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of lane axes do this when they can get it really early. I do agree that it makes the hero like super duper tanky. It's like very hard to kill the hero. But right now, like, killing Axe is not the concern for VP, because VP realized that they have better late game physical damage. Not sure if they have better late game overall against the Enigma, Axe, and Medusa, but they have more damage, and they can just find an opening to just burst down certain targets. And right now, for Axe to prevent that, he needs to get picks. And I'm not sure if showing himself in lane with Vanguard is the best way to go about with that. You know, the Medusa's already incredibly behind. And, oh, this is interesting. This is something I didn't expect.
You mean the
but
Roshan?
very possible. Yeah. Smoking the Roche with a Medallion Rush and Enigma. This is like, it's been a long time since I've seen this, and
he's gonna keep his conversion alive though. He just lost one of his conversions, which means Enigma has to start tanking up himself. It's not the most desirable thing, and Jottam? Well, they don't have any vision of this.
No,
But the ping
have
just came
no
out
idea.
from Earthshaker just saying, I think something is wrong.
Yeah.
Because there's no
honestly,
VS
they
and
had
there's
a
no
ward
Enigma
there.
on bottom lane. The Axe has disappeared.
Radiant's top tower is
So it
under
has to be
attack.
something. But what's he going to do? Throw a rando fissure into Roshan? He's looking to throw that at Dazzle.
Yeah. This is actually like, I think this is almost impossible to scout out if you don't have vision of the enemy jungle. This was a really nice move. Very clutch. Very clutch.
The only downside is he had to... Well, hello, top lane. Axe, he needs spins. He's not getting any spins. Someone let him spin.
Hook shot available.
He is just not spinning. The hook shot's starting to up. He didn't spin at all after my camera went on him. Not once. Not a single iota.
Then again, it was like Sadoi wasn't really right-clicking on him all that much either. He probably got like 5 hits off. It was mainly the battery assault level 4 doing the damage. So
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Honey with an Invis rune searching for God. He just wanted an easy stun so then Medusa could throw the Mystic Snake and then find themselves a pickup. Dazzle is walking over now. He has a lion right behind him. Plans down a nice little aggressive observer ward, but with the Enigma coming into mid, they want to try and force something because the Aegis Immortal is on the Enigma, so it makes sense to try and put him on the front lines and soak up a little bit of damage. Now God, well there's your first imprisonment. Hookshot's not available, but Axe is coming in. The Weave starts having its effect, so already negative armor coming the way of Sidoi as well as Yol. And with Hani sitting behind the tower, he looks for the first stun, and they find God with the call as well. God, he goes down very quickly. This time, Axe is finding the stuns. The midnight pulse is down into the black hole. He only got one Yol. He had the Hex, so the black hole will be cancelled, but with the also the shallow grave onto the Aegis Immortal hero, looks like Fly will be able to survive this on 13 life points. It's a 2-for-1 trade-off. The fissure is dropped. He does have Soul Ring in 1 second time. He tried to come in range to give the medallion off again. But they couldn't find a good target as the defensive hook shot was used.
Cool, man. That Roshan play from the Enigma, that was so big. They did it with level 1 Wave of Terror as well. Hani's actually maxing Magic Missile, which is not a build that I like, but I mean it's burst damage. You can't really go wrong with burst damage and extra duration on the stun. Yeah, I'm quite impressed by that and quite amazed rather. It's been a while since I've seen it. I know the medallion Enigma has been a thing in the past and people used to do it back when Roshan was in the dire side, closer to the dire side.
Yep.
But yeah, it's the first time I've seen it on this patch happening so early at 8 minutes. That was good. That was just really good. Again, this Aegis might not even come into play honestly, but it's just the fact that they took down Roshan and they had the presence for it at the mid lane when they pushed the tower, and the result is that they won the fight too. So Weehaw is that much closer to his blink. On top of that, he has Tranquil Boots as well. So everything just went so well ever since that Roshan. It's a really big deal.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Well, tier 1 town now on the bottom lane is going to be chipped away. Exist is feeling so confident because he's got 1 a Dazzle and 2 a Haste Ring. So he's got no issue whatsoever. But BZZ's adding pressure towards the mid. And Axe is regenerating, but not fast enough, even with Tranquils as well as Vanguard. He doesn't feel like he can come in that close, but at the same time,
I don't think you can complain, man. This guy's regening at 22 HP per second with that Tranquil. I don't think you can ask for much more. 10 minutes.
He just wasn't ready to fight, alright? And that's what it's coming down to. They weren't ready to fight at that time. Sidoi is looking towards the bottom lane. Exists Haste Rune will trigger. And here comes the extra TP. That's the OD to the front lines, and Dazzle, just get the hell out of there, man.
Dire's top tower
That Medusa has left you alone, so leave her.
Yeah, she does have the Haste Rune though, and she's picking up a Midas. I think I like this choice as well. It's good with the Axe again. All you have to just do is secure the late game, or pressure the enemy to do something. And VP trying to apply pressure to the top lane, but they had a mid lane ward to scout out all these hero rotations coming in. So I think they're gonna back off very soon. And
but they're gonna have to find anyway. Like, sure they denied off their bottom tier 1 tower, yay, but you're still losing all of your tier 1 towers as Virtus.pro. Your map control is dropping very quickly. Crit's the one defending the bottom tier 1 tower with just Shadow Wave. If this continues up for VP, you get more aggressive wards, and those pickups you're talking about that Weehaw has to claim for his team are going to come. Because when this top tower goes down, he has Blink Dagger.
Yeah, that's right. So the timing is still really good. Considering the situation.
When Flies already started the pressure. TP on the bottom lane, and they started the weave over on God. He wants the tower, it's denied by Crit. He still doesn't have Poison Touch, and the cogs from Sidoi keep them pushed back. Hani can't get close enough for a swap as well as a stun. So a nice defensive cogs coming in to save God's life. But now, are they actually going to move top?
Yeah, G's TPing in. This might be a nice kill.
He's got a crit.
They isolate the Enigma. That's not the target they want to go for.
They may as well get him anyway. The cogs are going to push Fly back down again. Wait, what are you doing, Fly? You're not going for that black hole, but it's the Aegis the Immortal. Kind of forgot about that one. So Crit's going to come in, and now the Stone Gaze going to force Virtus.pro back. And God, he's actually trapped in a corner, so they protect the Enigma with the Stone Gaze. But there's no mana available for the Earthshaker to throw out a fissure, but there is for Yol to come in through the side. Goes on Crit. Wow, that's a really early shallow grave. With the hook shot up, they've managed to actually catch out the Medusa. So God can beat him down. The Dazzle will die as well. And even if Axe does have a Blink Dagger, he's on the bottom lane now, and there's no way he's going to defend the tier 1 on top.
Yeah, two really, really big kills followed by a tower here. That's the kind of thing that they really, really need here. Again, shouldn't have gone for the Enigma. Of course, it was unfortunate that was the target they isolated. He not only had a mech, but he has Medallion for that passive 7 armor, which makes him even tankier. And on top of that, the Aegis of the Immortal. So, I mean, it was just one of those situations that it didn't seem like it was good at the start, but Meepwn'd heroes lingered around trying to save their friend and try to play the hero mode, and it didn't work out for them, so they ended up losing carry.
It's kill time. Blink, call, wait it out. Now Magic Missile with a wave of terror. They just ripped through that OD. He could not react to it. At the same time, you've got Virtus.pro looking for an opening, and they found one. Jot him. Actually, does he? He doesn't see. He doesn't see the Enigma, the Fog of War. So they actually find the Medusa instead. She did get the shields up and a couple of stick charges, but it's not enough to keep her alive until Axe jumps in. And there's your black hole. So dunk number 1. Now they can attack into Weehaw as well, trying to turn a 2-in-for-1 for the death of Medusa. They're able to do so. We now have a 4-1 Axe on the field. Maybe worth the trade-off, but then again, it's a hand of minus Medusa. She's always going to catch up. Well, looking at this game, I'm not too sure. It's going to be a while before she casts Honey. So I can tell you that much. Crit. He's still got Shallow Grave. I don't think Honey really cares about this. He's walking around with a Haste Rune as well as Treads. Honey's feeling so confident as this Vengeful Spirit. We've almost got ourselves, like, I'm not going to say we have ourselves a carry Vengeful Spirit, but because they gave him the space in the bottom lane early on, and even when the lanes rotated, he then found space up on the top lane trying to find his level 6. He's managed to find also farm with this, which is bringing him to a point where he's quite useful, as opposed to just being the completely sacked number 5 position in the game. I think the most important thing right now for Meepwn'd is that Hani and Weehaw have been there for all the right kills, every single one. Like all the OD snipes have been done by Hani and Weehaw, especially the Invis rune at the mid lane, which was huge. And then just now at bottom, after they took the tower top, VP decided to rotate their OD to the safe lane when Axe and BS were missing for like over a minute. But again, it's just something you forget. And you feel the safety, which is kind of deceptive because there's a tier 2 tower that you just TP to, so you don't think you're going to get ganked, but Weehaw and Hani were there to make the difference happen. Well, Meepwn'd, I think they're actually hoping for an engagement on top, but VP are not going to grant them one. They just take out the tier 1 tower themselves, so deny it up. And Meepwn'd go back to farming again. So does the OD. Yeah. I did not expect this game to play out this way. I didn't expect the VP to be the one losing all their tier 1 towers by 12 minutes. That's... Well, they are going up against an Enigma. Like, an Enigma that was able to find that much farm. Or is it because the Enigma was in the jungle, you're expecting him to go to the offlane? Well, again, it's a mix of things. Like, first of all, Honey, the way they got their first blood, it doesn't have much implications, but it does mean that they couldn't, like, VP couldn't really win or secure their safe lane as much as they wanted to. And then the next thing would be definitely the Roshan followed up by the Invis rune. That's just 2 totally unexpected things. And the thing with runes is, if you don't get the first 5 runes, or if you don't scout out the first 5 runes, the way the haste and the invis work is like they just get this silly pickoff that should not be possible by Dota mechanics, because you just don't expect a hero moving into you at 522 MS 5 minutes in, or you don't expect a hero walking up to you with a Shadow Blade. You know, it's just how it is. And then they just make this impossible kill possible, and then it just changes the course of the game, and that's basically what happened. Especially against OD. Yeah, he might die again, actually. Honey sees the OD. Blink. They got to get the call though, so they start with the Battle Hunger to give him the movement speed, and Honey swaps himself in so he can go for the stun. The cogs though, they've blocked out the rest of Meepwn'd, so they can't help out Honey anymore. And the OD will be able to survive. But is Meepwn'd really going to commit to this? They're going up to the high ground because they want to find the kill with the axe. At the same time, you've now got BZZ coming in from behind. No black hole, 4 seconds on cooldown for now. With the weave, Cedoy's got -8 armor. They need a stun, a blink. 1 second for Weeha. He's staying out of the range of the cogs, so now he can jump in. Can't get the call. Turns on the blade mail instead. Now he can get the call. He's in range of Seedoy, but the battery assault keeps screwing with him every single time he wants to do it. So he'll have to back up here. It becomes a 1-for-1 trade-off as the OD still did end up dying. Medusa gets done up a little bit. Yol, he already used the Finger of Death, and now Blink call. Where's your spin? Where's your... Okay, there's your dunk at least.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure G messed up his force staff there. I think he meant to force away from the fight and ended up forcing right into 4 of them.
I won't correct you.
Yeah, I think that just straight up cost him the fight. I think the fight was pretty much done, and the fact that he re-engaged means that the team had to invest resources to try and save him with that misclick or whatever it was. He didn't get his ultimate off. He hasn't cast. I'm not even sure if he casted it once this game. 20 minutes so far. Not that there were many opportunities, but again, like the picks have been just so big on him. Like he's losing every grip on he had on this game since the laning phase with every death. And it's hurting VP so much right now. Now that they lost their tier 2 mid, their farming space all gets reduced even further because this Axe is sitting here with one of the highest net worth in the game right now at 18 minutes, 19 minutes. You can't contest this hero anymore with VP's heroes.
So what are they supposed to do apart from wait for Meepwn'd to make a mistake around Roshan, or...
Yeah.
Basically,
that's what they have to do. They have to just wait for a nice smoke gank. Clockwork initiations are great, but again, there's so much tools of survivability on the side of Meepwn'd now, whether it's just the Enigma presence or
I
crit.
found an opening.
He's been hiding behind the tree, but...
They got crit. He goes inside the pit. The fissure will be thrown out, and Crit's gonna die in the corner. But you just got yourself a dazzle. Are they gonna go for this?
Oh my gosh, this is not the time to Roshan, I don't think. They're still way too far behind to make this finish happen, and they know Enigma has Black Hole, and they know that the Axe has everything. Possibly more since the last fight.
Meepwn'd not coming in. This observer was still watching their movement down, so is Seedoy. Because he's got himself that hook. Enigma can't blink himself in. So unless Hani's going to swap fly in a range, they don't get in there in time to take out a team. And in fact now, they're forced into a fight when there's Naked Immortal and Virtus.pro. Weeha battling up against Seedoy. It's Blade Mail and Blade Mail, but the dunk will get the kill for Weeha. Oh, he actually can't even get it off. So they're locked in here by a Jotham's Fissure. A 1-for-1 trade-off for the VS for the Clockwork. One first blink away. He's still got 7-1 charges, and the Blade Mail's back off cooldown again. But with the weave effect from Dazzle, they're losing their armor. Black Hole! Big one from Fly! There'll be a follow-up into a call! Let the spins go! Dunk one! There's a double kill! It's an Echo Slayer! It's a disaster! Oh, VP! Pants firmly pulled down! Loop was not applied! And they have just been destroyed on the bottom lane! BZZ's trying to look for anything, but he can't get Jack! He's down for the count as well! That was not the plan, Stan. Not the plan at all.
Yeah. It's just 4 men walked into a hole. Lion said, "Hey, let me join." Blinks right into the black hole. Oh my goodness! Wow. This team is crazy. First of all, that Roshan should have never happened. Weeha sitting at 1.8k life points. He had 17 armor, and he had Blink Dagger and Blade Mill. Most importantly, ready to go. Because if you're scared of disables and nukes coming out of those supports, well, Blade Mill destroys every single one of them right now. And he didn't go contest the pit. The second thing would be then, yeah, just chasing so deep because you feel confident that you killed off a vengeful spirit of all heroes. I don't know, man. This is very similar to what they did last game, except they did it like 40 minutes in. This time it's 20 minutes in. They're just diving too hard. They're going full Russian on the game. I don't know. I don't think this is how you come back from this game.
I don't. Yeah, that's definitely not the way you win the game. By having a team fight that one-sided in favor of Meepwn'd, that's not the way VP will win this.
I mean, VP, like they force things too much, way too much. But
it was fine with like what they first started on. They started on Roshan. Meepwn'd decided not to engage into them, which was the right thing to do. Then there was the 1-1 pick off. And VP, like, you're walking around with an Aegis Immortal, and you gotta feel confident as a team. And maybe that's it. It's just overconfidence. They feel like they can kill off anyone they find because you've got yourself like immortality. But what they don't realize is moments like this where God gets caught out, he's -6 armor, Cito even hookshotted himself in. If it wasn't for these defensive cogs, he'll be dead right now, but blink in 3 seconds, swap, okay, whoop, yep, okay. Hardy rejoins the ranks. But you've got the OD down. They just feel too confident in the lanes. Like, that has to be what it comes down to, because there's no other logical decision for the decision. It's just, I think we can keep going. Let's keep going.
Sounds about right, and it looks like keep going is happening on the part of Meepwn'd right now. Pushed the tier 2 earlier, now that they got the huge OD pickup, they're going to focus on top lane.
Oh, Jardum.
Tower is under attack.
Oh, yeah.
He was
again,
TPing out in the bottom lane through the fissure to actually take out the creep wave, and then Axe just TP'd himself in a little bit further to the right inside the trees, and just a simple blink call to take the kill. Harney's also in no man's land. He 4-staffs away. They're chasing him, but Crit's right behind him. Starts the weave. It's going to give Harney a little bit of extra armor. Needs to throw out the heal, and BZZ trying to come in too. Where's that Shallow Grave? Can't get it off. But Harney's pretty damn tanky right now, so you're getting the kill.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to use the Finger of Death. Not unless they are able to find a secondary bash. I think he's got no choice. Oh no, he doesn't. There's support coming in, but it's all too late. They have enough physical damage to finish the job.
The Enigma has the... Yeah, he had the Ogre Club, and I was thinking maybe after those fights, his fights were going really well, so he's probably really farmed. He has a completed BKB. VP actually have no way to stop this BKB aside from the Clockwork initiation, which is, you know, I would say right now that's a tool to initiate and nothing else, not to look to canceling black holes. This Enigma is gonna have free reign on black hole in the next fight, most likely. Their team fight is looking way too scary right now. It'll be the Medusa Gaze to fall back on. Weeha's unstoppable initiation now that he has a BKB as well. As this is an Axe sitting at 13k net worth. It's almost like a free farming anti-mage. Yeah, Meepwn'd is doing everything right this game.
That they are. Well, everyone sits back to farm up for just a couple of moments. Well, are they actually sitting back? Yeah, it's a smoke gank by Yol and Seedoi. Quick trivia. Okay, we don't actually have time. Enigma caught out. Hex, support, Crit's coming in. He's still got the Shallow Grave available. Starts off with heal, and then it's a 2-man black hole with the protection of BKB. Exist comes in with a Mystic Snake, and VP are going to lose 2 heroes in the top river. Perhaps more as BZZ. He does have his BKB available. They have also taken Exist out of the play with just the OD imprisonment. I think OD's considering, with his ulti, no, he can't kill off the Enigma. They're just going to get the hell out. BZZ buys a TP scroll and TPs, and he'll be away to safety. They won't find him in time. But yeah, chat trivia, you can play at home if you want to. What's the hero with the most average people caught, like the highest average of people caught inside the black hole? I believe was the trivia, if I remember 2 minutes ago.
I mean, it's definitely going to be Russians, right?
Well, would it?
Just keep...
Would it?
Pardon me? It has to be. I mean, yeah, black holes can...
It's not Russians.
Huh? Oh, man. Is it North Americans?
Okay, I don't think, like, what? We can't really say... Yeah, it's not North Americans. So it's either Europe or China. So I think we've managed to limit the pool quite well. Let's not limit it any further than that.
Alright, so now we're going international here.
Yeah, who would actually get the most amount of black holes?
Middle tower is under
And is this for the current patch, or are we talking the older ones too? Because if we go back to the dawn of time...
I remember MYM Angel had that huge black hole top. There was like a video on it. Maybe that's it.
Because the old time ones... you can probably counter players like Puppy, because they live under the philosophy of I always black hole if I get 1 kill. So
I mean, it has to be PGG, right?
No. PGG has 5 or 0. Like there is no in between for him, and I think the higher percentage would be 0 for PGG. Plus he's CIS, so it's definitely not PGG.
Are you sure about that? I've always been under the impression he's known for his black holes.
Yeah, but for the wrong reasons. It's the reason why he's known for his black holes. We got smoke movement coming in. Carl will give us the answer in a moment, but play at home while you're there. The smoke's going to break. They walked up to the high ground, but they don't have any vision, and Weeha jumps up and he got Hex! They need to keep him alive! Dazzle, the Shallow Grave, they actually swap Weeha out! Honey will lose his life for this. They do start the weave up, but with the OD, he still has a little for single at Sandy Eclipse, but I think now is the time with the hook shot up and with the Echo Slam. Exist turns on the Stone Gaze, stopping John in his tracks. The Dazzle will have to try and keep this Medusa alive. There's still Shallow Grave, but he never got it off. The Enigma will die as well, and the gank is perfect for Virtus.pro. A 4-1 trade-off, about to become 5 with Crit also dying. Rishan's not going to spawn up just yet, so they may be able to pick up a tier... Actually, can they even take a building? I'm not quite sure if they can.
With troll, okay, well the lanes are pushed in very deep, so
yeah, they have no creep
but...
wave on the mid or the bottom. That's even on their side of the river. So BZZ can. The answer is banana. Okay, I don't think anyone would have probably guessed him.
Yeah, that's a very obscure territory. But I think that fight, you know, honestly, everything went well for VP, starting with the axe getting hexed up right away. So props to Yo for that. That was just right on the trigger. But when a fight goes well for VP like that, it goes to show how much damage they have. Like this Medusa hero, that the purpose of picking this hero is so if Axe and Enigma give him space to operate in the fights, you know, you create this misdirection thinking that the Medusa is not going to do damage or not going to be able to stay alive. And honestly, that misdirection is just reality here, because the OD with the Aghanim Scepter is pretty much one of the most direct counters to Medusa. This hero is actually going to lose later on when he has Scotty and Manta and these items. He's actually going to lose like more than 1,000, 1,500 mana just from one spell from OD. Not to mention OD's orbs are pure damage, so it's just going to slice through whatever armor he has as well. And this is just one of those games where Medusa, even though BKB is not a good item, he has to get it. If he doesn't get it, he can't stay alive, and if he can't stay alive, he can't fight. It's a direct hard counter.
Well, I'm just going to let everyone know, because I know we have a lot of people tuning in for our next game as well. If you are looking for Na'Vi going up against Team Empire, the game will not start until the conclusion of this. So you will find it directly here on this live stream if that is the game that your heart is desiring. So do not fear, the game will not begin without us. The teams are there and waiting.
Wow, what a surprise and change of net worth as well. After that fight, the VP cores just spike up, and BZZ just finding farm somewhere that I don't know where exactly, but spurred up from like 4th on the net worth chart all the way to the top at 16k, almost like he was free farming again.
If you actually look at the overall graph, it's such a spike.
Yeah, huge dip for sure.
Like, that was a 10k. That was a practically almost actually even more than that, almost 11k swing on both gold and experience.
One fight, man, when you get counterpicked like that, just one fight, it really does determine the outcome. But I won't rule them out yet, of course. Meepwn'd, they've demonstrated with the black holes, they can very well take a team fight if they just get the right initiation. The only problem is, how do you find the right initiation now that Axe is limited by his 1200 range jump, which is fairly big, but if VP are keen, again, it shouldn't be that easy, or it shouldn't have been as easy as they've been demonstrating on the side of Meepwn'd until now.
Honey could help out because he does have that 4-star. So the rockets are flying up trying to get vision on Meepwn'd. They sent Exist in with that new Skadi of his to try and battle up against Roshan.
Oh, this is such a nice move. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. This Centaur actually just scouted out 3 heroes.
Yep.
They know where 3
and they
of
planned
them
out another ward. They can see Dazzle. They can see Dazzle in the sun, but the Troll Warlord can't get up to him. And Exist, he's going to walk out the front. They missed the hook shot. Enigma, he can BKB now. We're just going for the double black hole, controlling BZZ, but Harney actually swapped him out. So we can go in and take the place of him inside the cogs. Exist is still going to go work, and a big call. They caught God. Now your Echo Sam. Will it be enough space creation? No, it won't. The Shallow Grave again being used over on the Enigma. The Weeha, he just keeps swinging, but no dinging just yet. VZZ, now he's low enough. There's your Culling Blade. The Fissure, well, it's throwing, and they'll buy the blink out space time. But God, trying to man mode up. Crypt will take a triple kill as the Dazzle. With all the damage that was there, he takes a triple kill. We will mop up Jotum. He throws out the Battle Hunger, so Jotum will tick out. And we are actually watching him die. What a masochist.
Oh, wow. So first thing is, I thought he actually canceled the black hole with the swap, but it turns out the Enigma didn't even have mana for it. So that was a really nice swap. Then again, Sidoi, he missed the hook shot on a point-blank target. That was really, really unfortunate. I think the ideal move in that situation would have been actually just to force staff the into the Enigma because he was so close, and then save your hook shot for the potential black hole, BKB black hole. Of course, neither came to pass. And the other thing in the fight is that OD, he dropped a really nice Sanity's Eclipse, and then he started chasing the support. I think it was Yo. He was under Battle Hunger and running away from Weeha, and OD actually just, like, he tanked like so many right clicks from the Dazzle and the Medusa, just trying to Astral Imprisonment his support so he can stay alive for 4 seconds on 100 HP. And I don't know, because the OD could have actually just right clicked down the Medusa and killed her, and that would have also changed the fight. So I think they tunnel visioned a little bit too hard in that fight.
Well, the end result is Meepwn'd repair a large amount of the damage that was dealt by VP before. Doesn't get their full advantage back, but it brings them to a point where we're going into late game, and the Medusa has become actually a factor.
Yeah,
where before
she's gonna dish out
wasn't
damage.
a huge factor before, and the Axe was doing all the lifting, but Axe drops off, obviously, so Medusa is the one you have to carry you to the very, very late game.
Well, honestly, I think the biggest concern now is the Enigma. I mean, after that fight with the Roshan as well as I think there was Cheese as well, or yeah. Cheese Roshan advantage. This Enigma now, he has not only BKB Black Hole still available, but he also has a Blink Dagger. This is pretty much guaranteed against that team of VP.
I do find it funny though that even as level 16, it's because he's carrying the mech. That's the reason why. Damn, that mana cost of the mech is so ridiculous. Exist, caught with his shields down. They might get the kill with the fissure. Harney's gonna swap him out. They get the shadow. They actually get the heal off.
Oh my god.
He triggered the shitties. He actually used the cheese and he probably didn't have to. But if they're gonna keep pushing here, then the cheese was worth it.
If anything, I feel like they should have given Sodoi room to hook. I think the hook shot might have been the difference because it would do enough damage to kill the Medusa there. But Exist really, like getting caught without mana shield, that's... I mean, you can't play Medusa without mana shield.
He was up a long way. Oh, they got the call. Try and drag BZZ out. The OD again with the defensive imprisonment, making sure that BZZ does not chase outside of his own base. I think they wanted to drag him to the staircase and then Harney would just 4-staff him up.
Oh, look at him. He just walks out of base, hits him once. Lets him know that he's there, and Weehaw turns his hero to be able to blink if he does the same shenanigans. But yeah, this push is impending. It's coming, man.
Yep. And Enigma, look where he is, just sitting at the back end. Now you can go for that BKB blink. He's actually not going the BKB, the Echo Slam! They caught Harney, Shallow going to protect him, but the Black Hole is down. Jotum is caught, and Exist is going with the split shot, slowing down the Troll Warlord now. Remember, you got the Axe back to life again. Clockwork is limping himself away. BZZ's 4-staff back into safety. They only lost the Earthshaker out of that. And you did get out the Black Hole BKB from the Enigma. There was no mana for Stone Gaze, hence you didn't see that being dropped. Yeah,
and most importantly, they got the Aegis as well.
Yep. But at the same time, you have triggered out your Eclipse. You've got no finger for another 14 seconds.
Oh dear.
And the opening is here. Maleficent, the OD being dragged out. Weehaw, he's back in again on the front lines, but the Cogs is splitting up the lineup here of Meepwn'd, but Cedo is so low. They do get the Culling Blade, but it's a little bit too early, so there's no buff coming from it. And the cooldown is added for the Axe. I think Meepwn'd have to back up. They've got no mana on 4 of their heroes. They have to bail out of here. They did some damage to the tier 3 tower at least.
Yeah, it's really hard to call this a flaw, but after Yol's blink into Hex, he had a 4-man impale lined up. If he actually impaled all 4 of them before the Axe was able to BKB, that might have just been like a total wipe, even without the Earthshaker. So that was actually really close, and this game it's just coming down to like pure execution, to the point where I'm not even sure if draft is relevant anymore. Both teams, if they just play their cards properly at this point, it's a silly thing to say, but either team can just take it if they get the right initiation off at this point. It's a very, very close game.
Well, so who's got the confidence to go for it? Well, yeah. Then again, how do you get the advantage in the fight? Is it going to come through your smoke? Does it just come through good warding? Or does VP wait for Meepwn'd to try and breach high ground again? Because Meepwn'd's not the one on the clock this time around.
Well, Toby, if we learn something from VP, it's that they don't wait. They go. Doesn't matter if it's smoke or like based on emotions.
Maybe they'll surprise you. Maybe they'll surprise you, Clairvoyants.
I don't know. I think they're a go team. I'm pretty sure.
For me, I'm okay with the go team if there's just 3 heroes trying to find 1. I think that'll be a nice way where VP can then get advantage and then they can push the advantage. And they can do this by doing what Yol's doing right here. Aggressive wards, plants 1 down, and he sees Exist. Yeah, he sees Axe. He sees everybody. This ward has just done wonders for them. And is there even there's a gem over on Dazzle, but he ran south. So he doesn't actually see the ward. Actually, in fact, where is he going? He's going to plant down his own aggressive observer ward. But because he planted the ward down here, it just got scouted out. So VP are very much aware where Meepwn'd have vision.
Not sure if they're going to counter it. I think the right thing to do for Yol is to buy a sentry right away and counter that. Countering fresh wards are always the nicest thing to do. Again, the denial of vision is so important, especially on big jumpers between both teams with blink daggers on like half the heroes.
This OD is getting bigger.
So is the Medusa though. He does have Manta now.
It's true.
It's not going to help him survive against the Aghanim's, but it'll let him dish out a little bit more damage.
It's just how much work that OD Eclipse is going to do at the start of the engagement. Because it's kind of like Medusa's worst enemy, and now, well, that was 1 unit to Hex.
Dear.
He got a melee creep and not Weehaw. Weehaw, this is not an invitation to go in. It's a trap.
It's a trap, huh?
Especially when they don't have the Enigma. The Enigma's up on the top lane, just pushing out. He doesn't want to be involved in any of these engagements. I'm still thinking he should be leveling up that black hole. Even with the mech, cost, he's still got enough mana that he can that a high level black hole is worth it.
Honestly, it's hard to say. Like, that's what I feel when I look at the values of the numbers. But this hero actually uses so much
trouble.
mana, it's unbelievable.
Stone Gaze exists. Weeha, he's in. He's gonna get the call. He needs to actually get that dunk over on Cedoy, and there it is, number one. They get through line as well, and it's Meepwn'd who are the ones to find the opening. Honey's trying to come down to get in range for a swap. It's a level 2. He's not in range, but a double call from Weeha. Catching out 2. Jotum's down for the count. He needs a little bit of space from God. Where's the Eclipse? It's never going to come. 4 heroes on the sidelines for Virtus.pro. They have buyback only on the Troll, which means that is a 75-second window. Meepwn'd have to take a Rax. If
that
not
was
2.
Yeah, that looked way too easy, honestly. Like, with the double damage on Medusa, she just right-clicked down the clockwork in the line so fast that there was just no hope of survival. And yeah, these Raxes are going down for sure. With OD down, this is probably a second set of Raxes with so much presence. Mech still available, BKB, Black Hole. Again, not to mention just the sheer presence overall with their push. It's too much. That's probably a game right there. And again, VP, they're looking so aggressively for kills to the point where sometimes, you know, you get caught out like that.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
And Cedo is looking for the opening in, but without the OD, do they even want to fight this?
No, it's impossible. You can't kill the Medusa without OD. The Stone Gaze is almost up again, and Troll Warlord is a very momentum-based hero who needs to fight under the duration of the BKB, and Stone Gaze as well as Axe.
They might just be looking for stragglers, like the positioning which Fly was walking out just then, or Simba was walking out right then. I thought for a moment that it would just be a straight hookshot jump before he blinked.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to do that. I think if he's learned anything with his hookshots this game is that if he goes on the wrong target, he's just gonna die. And there was a point where Blade Mill was gonna do a lot of work, but again, with the Roche advantages that they've lost until now, it just wasn't enough. They never got the right positioning.
Okay, Roshan just spawned, and Meepwn'd didn't check it even though they're right side. The Rocket will come in to look for Roshan, but Exist managed to find himself a haste rune as well as an illusion rune.
Oh, they should check again, yeah.
And instantly felt like it was go time, but they're so close, and like one wave of terror from Hani or something like that would see that Roshan's up, and then they just go for it. Unless they're worried that VP's going to counter-initiate in now that the OD's back to life. But you've got 5 buybacks on Meepwn'd. They could win this game just through like expenditure of cash.
Yeah. I don't know who I was talking to about it. I think it was actually you, but we were talking about Roshan timer, respawn timers and stuff like that. And I think you mentioned that Hani said it between 8 to 11 minutes. It's only by the minute. Whereas, I don't know who told me it was, but it was randomized. Like, it could spawn at like 8:30, 8:45, 8:51, doesn't matter so long as it's within the 3-minute mark.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I think that might have been the reason why he didn't check, because this is actually silly. You know, I don't really think VP can come back from this game, but this is the kind of thing that you don't let happen when you have this kind of advantage. This right here, yeah, this is actually, for me, this is an absurd thing for like something to happen like this. Just the fact that they can even walk out of base and take Roshan like that, it doesn't make sense. You know, it should not be happening in a Dota game.
Yeah, but is this because of what Meepwn'd should be doing, or are you actually having a mechanical debate
it's a mix of many things. For one, it's not checking the Roshan. For another, it's definitely what Meepwn'd are trying to do, which is push a third Rax. It's okay. Personally, I never feel that third Raxes are necessary. If you have a 2 Rax advantage and you have tier 2s up, chances are you just camp your base or push out lanes and just react based on what the enemy does. Because when you have a 2 Rax advantage, most of the time your fight is better. So if they're just outside their base, you can always pick them off. And yeah, I mean, fighting up against a Roshan, Aegis, and Cheese into a third Rax might be one of the better ways to throw, but again, like, their advantage is so huge, I'm not sure how much it's actually going to mean.
How much is it up to now? They're flatlined at 15k on the experience and almost hit 20k in the net worth. But there's a full Mjolnir, so Exist, he's not maxing himself out with this. He's not a 6-slotted kind of hero, because he's still got Hand of Myers as well as Bottle. So he's not as big as he could be. But the Axe with an Aghanim Scepter up and still with 3.1k in BTs, he's basically looking just to be a double Axe. And that's where I think, like, I don't think Meepwn'd really care if they have Roshan or not, because they can just slow siege the top Which, this is why I'm not quite sure why they're rotating themselves around the long way to get back down to the bottom lane. It's like they're trying to control up the VP jungle clockwork. Hook shots in on Medusa. Hani though, he could potentially swap him, but Medusa just uses the mana style to get back out of the cogs and just attacks into Sadoy, who's now down to 2/3 of his life points.
Yeah, cogs is no longer some sort of a zoning tool or keeping your target still kind of thing. Against VS, it's already difficult, and Hani's been pretty keen on his swap so far. But at this point, if Clockwork, who is so underfarmed, if he hooks into any big targets in core right now, he might just end up dying, and it's just not worth it, even if he can get the target inside the cog.
Should this Enigma be having his refresher orb? He's got 6.2k gold right now over on the Enigma. Either that, or you try and protect yourself through what, like Lincolns, or protect your other teammates.
This
through
game
Lincolns?
specifically, it could be anything. I think it would make sense to. I think it would actually just make sense to go Shivas. I mean, that's how I would play it. But a lot of people like Refresher. Some people like Aghanims as well, because you don't have to cast Midnight Pulse and create this opening where you might just get your hold cancelled in that split second. Yeah, there's many ways to go about. I mean, heck, he can go Sheep, Necrobolt. I'm not even sure if it matters at this point. He just needs to be able to protect his team with the Black Hole.
Actually, I like Sheep. I like the Scythe option a lot more.
Yeah, it's instant disable. You know, they already have plenty in that department.
It's also like, because OD didn't build a BKB.
Yeah.
So without a BKB over on the OD, if they can catch out God at the start, welcome to a very fragile core hero that can just pop. It's the same for the Troll Wall. Oh, actually, no, sorry, not for the Troll Wall. He has a BKB, but
he's still, yeah, you can catch him out though, and I think usually at this stage in the game, Troll's BKB's durations are like very short. It is at 7 seconds, which is actually pretty good considering the time and all the times they fought.
Yep.
But again, it's 7 seconds. Like you'll wait it out with Midnight Pulse. He gets zoned out by it because if he sits in it, he takes 200 damage per second. Yeah, eventually he just comes out and he dies.
There's only 2 minutes left on this Aegis. In fact, just shy of 2 minutes. And we've got a heart build coming in from the Axe.
You know what? Now that I mentioned the Pulse, I actually like the Refresher route. I think what you do is you just buy Refresher, you just Midnight Pulse the tower, and then you just go a little bit deeper with a Blink and then Midnight Pulse another area. That way they actually just can't walk in. Because that pure damage that pierces BKBs, I mean, late game, that Enigma hero is like, it's a pain in the neck to fight.
He has the Refresher. He's buying it right now.
Yeah, it's way too difficult to fight into that hero late game.
He doesn't even have to use his buyback for this. Because he's got such a surplus of cash as this Enigma. This Enigma's got 200 CS in 45 minutes. The highest CS on the field still belongs to the Troll though. And the OD in fact. 320 and 308. The Medusa hasn't even got that much CS. But her net worth is higher than anybody else's, with only 5 deaths to her name. She's also only got 4 kills, so I'm not going to say it's the most brilliant thing you've ever seen. But compared to the 7 deaths of God, as well as the 5 deaths of the Troll, it's fine.
Again, the real difference of the game is the Enigma. If you just look at the net worth chart, you know, Troll is obviously trailing behind the Medusa now, and OD is kind of just at the same with the Axe. But this Enigma is just way ahead of the Clockwork. He's got like almost 10k on him, and not to mention...
This is too juicy for him. But he's still got this Aegis Immortal for another 10 seconds. They cannot go on him just yet. They have to wait for that Aegis to time out, so they're waiting. They are just waiting for BZZ. Now the jump, the call. They can control him for a while, and there it is. The Aegis Immortal gets reclaimed, regeneration turns off, and BZZ, he's in a lot of trouble right now. Weehaw can't reach him though to finish the job. At the same time, God's coming in from the side. Hector's over on the Enigma. They need to buy some space, but the OD lets the Eclipse off. Weeha's backing up, too, but shot him. Echo Slam, follow up fissure. Exists, trapped in the tree lines. No, he's going to get through that small little trap, that small little path. Well, it's going to be Crit, who's in fact trapped inside the tree line. So VP catch out both the supports of Meepwn'd. But there's only the supports, and their lanes are pushing in once again. They have to come back straight away. And BZZ, I think, should be counting his lucky stars. That initiation at the same time as the Aegis was timing out.
That Roshan was just... It shouldn't have happened. And I keep going back to it, but like that kind of play, when you take 2 Raxes and the enemy's cores are still dead, you should just... You camp the base and you camp the pit.
But at the same time, it didn't have an effect on that fight. The cheese was never triggered. The Aegis Immortal was a non-factor because he got attacked when the regeneration kicked in, which means the regeneration disappeared.
Honestly, from like the spectator point of view, you're right, because neither of the Roshan advantage items were used. But
yeah.
again,
and the Golden Experience didn't really achieve much either. All it did was make it so Meepwn'd didn't attack for 5 minutes.
Yeah, and honestly, that's all the time in the world that VP actually needs, because we saw and we mentioned from the start that VP, they have the damage to fight Meepwn'd. Meepwn'd has the better late game disables, but again, it's not like with OD and Troll, you don't have damage to fight. You just need the initiations, and honestly, Earthshaker, Lion, like you can't really ask for better initiations as well.
They're coming for him.
As great as Enigma is.
Look at the positioning. They don't see him because of the nighttime vision. So VP as well as Meepwn'd, they're running basically parallel down the mid lane, but they don't see each other. As Lion, now he's going to see him at the last moment, blinks himself up, and the Axe is on the hunt. Try and chase him down the line. Oh, he's not going to get the TP off the call.
Oh
they used both swap and call.
Oh my gosh.
Lion's down for the count.
He just finished the Staff of Wizardry as well. I think if he didn't buy that, he had buyback.
Yep, and he doesn't now. Short by 750 gold, so you're right. He would have had his buyback available. The Earthshaker is also not part of this fight. If he tries to come from behind, there's already a Dire Observer Ward that will scout out for him. So Jottam, he's trying to play the Hallelujah from behind. So that means they're going to distract from the front lines in this Axe. He initiates in the Enigma, BKB, blinks in, looks for the hole, and he's able to pick up only Seedoy. The one hero is still enough in this part of the fight because he can just go for the second black hole, catching out the OD. He's on the sideline. Now they move over to BZC. The Midnight Pulse, it comes back down again. Nice hook shot, buys some time, but the Shallow Grave from Crit, it keeps Exist alive, so the Medusa can keep pumping up the damage. He's actually going to kill himself with the Clockwork Blade Mail, while the Fissure controlling up Hani. They still haven't brought down another Rax here, Meepwn'd. They have to back up. Weeha! He's not going to help out his teammate. God's right behind Crit. He tries to juke him around the tree lines, but one orb attack from the OD will pick him off. And Meepwn'd, they just can't finish it.
Going back to that Roshan, Toby. Should have never given it to them. Never, ever should have given to them. Again, VP, they bought back, and as you said, it doesn't look like they can finish the game. So, with the refresher black hole, you know, the black hole wasn't big enough to deter the buyback reinforcements.
Yeah.
But again, like with Lion Dead, they definitely should have been able to close it out.
I'm just surprised, like they just kept trying to win the game by taking out the heroes. But there was
I don't think that's how they
damage
play this
inflicted
game.
to the building. It's like, why are they not just playing by sitting back and waiting for VP to jump out? Like, if we'd be talking about Virtus.pro the entire time as the impatient ones, it seems now that it's kind of become viral and transferred over to Meepwn'd, where they just want to get up to the high ground and win this game when they're also running Medusa. Like, she's the queen of winning in late game, even if the OD is causing us to be a problem.
Well, see, this game, that's the thing. Like, this game, I actually don't know. The Medusa needs effective life points to stay alive, and again, this OD removes half those effective life points, basically.
Seedoy unwillingly walks up high ground. Weeha called him from the high ground. He blinked into this area where Seedoy was sitting down here and got the call up. And now, yep, there's a little stun over an OD. Hani gonna swap it back up again, but there's no black hole control. He imprisoned himself and dodges the stun from Hani, while BZZ battling into Weeha. There's nothing that can be done to save him. He's gonna drop. Maybe there is. The Shallow Grave from Crit. Now in for the Stone Gaze. Exists, turns on the split chop. They've got him locked. BZZ can't get one hit. Weeha's alive. He blinked himself away, and now God turned back into the fight, but Exists just tanking up everything until the Echo Slam! Jottam! Dropping the kitchen sink on top of Meepwn'd. They keep battling up as now Crit has to Shallow Grave. One more attack from God and he'll go down. The stun, there's no mana for it, but there's a Weeha to Axe Culling Blade him down. He's looking for the other opening. Lion will TP out on the other side of the tree line. But you got 4 heroes down. Earthshaker, the only one with buyback. They're all on cooldown for 4 minutes. The lanes are going to push in. The Helm of the Dominator Creep is the only thing defending bottom lane. This should be Meepwn'd making a beeline for the win.
Yep, and it looks like that's the case. I don't think you go for third Raxes here. Obviously, you should just go straight throne.
Look at Weeha. He's straight in. Oh, we got double call!
Oh my god.
Oh! It's over. It's over now! Oh! Jottam on the high ground. Look at Weeha. He wants it. He wants it. He wants to spin. He needs a spin, but Jottam jukes him in the tree line. Weeha, get the hell out of dodge. What are you doing? The Shallow Grave from Crit will keep him up. They found the Earthshaker, but Axe can't go on top of him anymore. Now he can for the Culling Blade. It's GG, man. The tier 4 towers are lost. VP, call it. And that is the end of the 2-game series with Meepwn'd winning 2-0 over Virtus.pro. We'll have Na'Vi going up against Team Empire in just a couple of moments' time. It is not going to take long. I give a big thanks to all the clairvoyants for joining me for the first series. Our next series, my co-caster, Bucking Mad, is waiting to join me in the wings. But thank you very much, Claire, for joining. It's been a pleasure.
Oh man, my pleasure, and I understand you have a long day now, but I hope you can enjoy the next game as to the fullest. Empire right now, in my opinion, is one of the best teams in the world, so I'd be very excited to watch them.
I don't think I'm going to have a problem enjoying it, so yeah. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll have ourselves a break and back here in just a couple of moments' time for our second series, Na'Vi going up against Empire in the D2CL.